Hi, welcome to the show. I am Suzanne Lynn. Very, very excited about my guest today. Her name is Penny Gochin, and Penny has written Over the Edge, Murder Returns to the Caribbean, which is a sequel to The Empty Chair, which is the Caribbean series. Welcome, Penny. I'm glad that you're here.
Thank you, Suzanne. I'm thrilled to be here.
We're going to dive in and find out a whole lot more about you. But the little bit that I know, that you've written 5 mystery novels. You feel like you get to travel around with you because you pick all these paradise places to be able to write about. And one of the things that made me smile is, as a mystery writer, when your husband is asked, what's it like to have your wife write mysteries? He says he sleeps with one eye open. So I like him already. He's pretty funny.
Yes,
That's great.
he's a great guy, very supportive.
That's awesome. How long have you been writing?
Oh, I often say my entire life, ever since I
Mhm.
learned how to write. I've always loved to write. I was always the kid in the class that, when there was a writing assignment, I was secretly doing a fist pump under my desk when everybody else was moaning and groaning that,
Right.
oh gosh, because I was such an introvert that the last thing I wanted to do was get up in front of class and do a presentation.
Sure.
So as soon as they said, it's going to be a written assignment, I was like, oh, thank
Uh,
goodness, because I could just
yeah.
go home in the quiet of my, room and just and write and be creative. And I guess I've been doing that, for my whole life, really.
You found out early on that that's your sweet spot. That's something that it just fills you.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
does.
So, well, we're talking today about the Caribbean series. So, The Empty Chair, um, kind of the prequel to what we're going to be talking about today, Over the Edge. Is that right?
Yeah, yes, The Empty Chair. It is the prequel,
Okay.
and that's the story of young Olivia. She's early 20s, and it's the story of her going to the Caribbean, to the Virgin Islands, to search for her mother, who is a photographer there that goes missing during an assignment. Now,
Mm.
Olivia's parents are separated, so she lives with her father in Boston. She'd much rather be with her mother in the Caribbean and be part of her photography business. They have a very close relationship. And but when Olivia and her father receive a phone call saying that her mother had perished in a boating accident, she was devastated. But her father sent her to go, take care of her mother's affairs, and which was a lot to put on a young
Yeah.
girl like that. So she goes off. It's a very sad trip to the island. But when she gets there, the police uh, indicate they have no record of her mother's death, not even a boating accident. So suddenly she's got this glimmer of hope that her mother's still alive somewhere
Mm.
on the island. So she takes it upon herself to search to the ends of the island for her. And of course, she gets wrapped up in the same criminal element that may have cost her
Wow.
mother her life. So that's the empty
That's the empty
chair.
chair.
And
Mhm.
yeah, and of course, I leave the reader hanging at the end of
Right.
the empty chair, but Over the Edge picks up the story where the empty chair left off.
Wow. Wow. Now I have to read. Now I have to read all the way through really fast because now I'm curious. So you pick all these amazing localities to write about. Have you been there, first of all? And how do you choose? And why do you write about
Mm.
such places of paradise?
Well, I have been to all the places that I write about. I think it makes it so much easier to write
Yeah.
if you've been there and you've experienced it. Um, I write about places that are near and dear to my heart that have touched me in some way. Uh, but it also enables me, when I am writing, to be there, be in a place that I love. So with the Caribbean, that's a place that we've been going for many years, and we've traveled to other islands besides the Virgin Islands, but the Virgin Islands is definitely the location we've been to more than others, and it's just I've fallen in love with
Mm.
the people there, the culture,
Mhm.
the just the islands, that how tropical it is, and it's very easy to get in and out of being a U.S. territory.
Right.
So it's one of those places that it's become so familiar that it almost seems like home when I get there, and I usually have happy tears when I arrive, and
Oh,
often have sad tears when I have to leave, but
Sure.
knowing that I can, if I write about it, then I'll still be there. And it's nice to share that with readers, those special locations. The other series that I have right now is what I call the Precipice series, and that's set on the coast of Maine.
Mm.
That rugged beauty of the coast of Maine, um, and it's set in an old family-run inn. And a lot of people will say, "Well, why Maine? You've spent more time in Connecticut than anywhere else." But
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, I mean, it would make sense. And I will get to Connecticut. I will. I will. This next one is going to start with Connecticut. But growing up, every one of our summer family vacations, with only one exception, we traveled to Maine. And we moved around quite a bit growing up. So the one location that was a constant during all those years was Maine. And the reason we went there was my mother had grown up in Maine.
Oh,
My
sure.
grandmother lived there, and we visited my grandmother in central Maine. So, and we would take day trips down to the coast. And so, even as a young child, I fell in love with the coast of Maine. So my first mystery was actually set there, which was a very natural setting to put it
Mm.
there. It just felt right, and that was the start of what turned into the Precipice series, which now has 3 books in it. So I do tend to write about places that I love, so that I think I can engage the reader to to love them as well.
Mhm.
And I do tend to fall in love with traveling, and I mean, I don't get to travel as much as I'd like to,
Right.
but like this summer I got to spend a little bit of time on Nantucket. I fell in love.
Sure, sure,
there
sure.
may be there may be another mystery there, and
Yes,
and
there's more.
Charleston as well, another place that but so I
So
definitely write about places that I've connected with and I love, that I hope to introduce to my readers as well.
so I know that some of your favorite time writing is at night when everybody's asleep and it's dark, and you're writing by flickering candlelight. You've got some coffee or wine with you. So you're not just
I
visiting these places, you are engulfed. You are it's in your DNA when you're writing about
Mhm.
these places, your passion for it.
Yes,
Yeah, yes.
definitely.
I love
And the
that.
whole writing by candlelight thing came quite by accident. It was one, dreary, wintry afternoon in New England, and I was struggling to get motivated, and because it was just so gray outside, it was gray inside, and I was sitting at the dining. I had this big, wooden dining room table, and I had all these candles, lined up there. I thought, yeah, I'll light them. We'll see what
Sure.
happens. And it completely changed the whole ambiance. And all of a sudden, I was into that story, and I was writing. And so I do it now. If it's even in the middle of the day, I'll put the candles on just to bring a little different ambiance to my writing. So it's a very effective tool for me.
Wow. Well, we're talking about the Caribbean series. What do you hope the reader takes away? What do you hope they feel at the end of reading it?
I'd like them to get to know the people of the Caribbean
Hmm.
well, because one of the reasons I love going there so much is the people, and
Yeah.
they are a tenacious bunch. I mean,
You have
they
strong women characters in your books, yes. So I'm
yes,
sure
yeah.
these are people that you've met, yes.
Hmm. And these people, they have to deal with powerful hurricanes on a regular basis. I mean, I
Mhm.
honestly, I would not want to be in their shoes, but they are, as I said, tenacious. They aren't kept down long. I mean, back in September of 2017, when 2 Category 5 hurricanes plowed through within 2 weeks. I mean, catastrophic loss. But they don't. They're resilient. They bounce
Yeah,
back. They're very quick to uh, talk about rebuilding, and um, they're very optimistic. They're entrenched in their faith, and they're very quick to talk about brighter days ahead. So for
wow.
that reason, I actually dedicated Over the Edge to the people of the U.S. Virgin Islands.
Penny, where can we find your books?
Online, Amazon, Barnes and Noble, certainly, but also in independent bookstores. Definitely check there if they're not already on the shelves. They can easily be ordered, and I love to be able to support local independent bookstores.
Thank you, Penny. Have a great day. It was so nice talking to
Thank you.
you.
You as well. Thank you.